Okay, let's dive in. We're talking about a subject that probably generates more confusion and, honestly, more bad advice than almost anything else.
Oh, for sure. We're talking about human connection, attraction, desire, all of it.
And the sources we're pulling from today are, they're all over the map, which I think is what makes this so interesting.
It is. We have everything from, very clinical relationships, psychology, think renowned intimacy experts, all the way to these, tactical blueprints from seduction coaches.
And even former intelligence operatives. I mean, talking about the mechanics of raw influence and persuasion.
Exactly.
So our mission today is really to find a shortcut through all that noise, to understand the hidden mechanics of attraction.
Right. How is desire actually communicated? And what does it take to sustain it over the long haul?
We're trying to blend the two worlds, the tactical side, the signals, the triggers, with the depper relational view. Safety, vulnerability.
We want to help you see the dynamics that most people just miss entirely.
Okay, so where do we start?
We have to start with the premise that initial attraction, it isn't really a rational choice. It's not like you're making a spreadsheet.
Right.
It's an instinctive, almost automatic response. It's rooted in these deep psychological patterns. So let's look at what the sources say women consistently respond to.
And the first one that jumps out is something called the competence trigger, which is not about money necessarily, it's about skill.
Yes, exactly. Attraction intensifies and, significantly when a man just handles things effortlessly.
Handles what, though? Like anything?
Pretty much. It could be his job, how he manages his life, or even, very specific practical skill. The key psychological takeaway is that demonstrating mastery in any one area, it signals overall capability.
So wait, my brain is telling me that if someone is like a master sourdough baker, it unconsciously signals that they have general survival skills, even though baking bread has nothing to do with, the relationship itself.
That is precisely it. Your rational mind is saying, what? But that primal part of the brain, it just registers. This person is capable, they can handle their environment.
It's grounded.
It is. It's grounded, it's effortless. And that is just inherently attractive because it implies security. It's the absolute opposite of being chaotic or, needy.
And that idea of being grounded leads right into the next piece, which is about social status and some pretty brutal truths about value, frankly.
It does. The data is pretty clear on what they call status sensitivity. Attraction is just biologically tuned to a man's position in a social hierarchy. Higher status means more attraction.
But it's not just about being the CEO. There's this other piece, the validation hunger.
Ah, yes. And this is where so much conventional wisdom just falls apart.
How so?
Think about it.
Yeah.
Scarcity creates value, right? If you give someone approval constantly, it becomes worthless. It has no value. But scarce, selective approval, that's seen as priceless. The sources show that people can become obsessed with earning praise from someone who withholds it or who is, selectively neutral.
So if you're constantly chasing them, telling them how great they are, you're actually signaling low value. But if you have high standards and you only give approval when it's really earned,
they become invested. They want to earn that recognition. And that process of earning it actually deepens their own attraction. It's all driven by scarcity.
And that scarcity gets amplified by this other idea, the pre-selection vulnerability.
The ultimate social proof. It's so simple. Attraction gets triggered automatically when other women show interest.
Because it signals he's a high-value man. He's already been vetted.
Exactly. It kicked off this competitive pursuit behavior. It's primal stuff.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. We're going to pivot from dating to something a lot more high stakes.
We're talking about intelligence operations. Persuasion on a whole other level.
Right, because the goal isn't to date, it's deep influence. And the core mechanism is surprisingly similar.
It is. The common thread is that real influence doesn't start with logic. It starts with creating an environment for hormonal release. They literally train operatives to bypass the analytical mind.
So what does that look like?
It starts with creating a positive, disarming experience. Making someone laugh, a genuine smile, offering some small, unsolicited help.
And that triggers a drop in dopamine and noradrenaline.
Correct. The brain is always making this super fast threat-non-threat distinction. When someone reacts positively to you, when they feel safe, their system registers you as a non-threat.
So that hormonal drop opens a window.
A window for emotional connection. You establish safety first, then emotional rapport, and only after those two things are locked in does the door finally open for any kind of logical influence.
That is profound. I mean, if you haven't created that feeling of safety and positive emotion, any logic you use just bounces off.
Completely. It's fundamental human persuasion.
Okay, so let's move from what triggers that first spark of attraction to how someone signals their own interest back, especially while trying to manage vulnerability.
Right, because if the triggers rely on things like status and scarcity, it makes sense that women, in particular, would prioritize what you could call plausible deniability.
They need an escape route so they don't get rejected.
Exactly. So they use these invitations that are wrapped in a layer of protection. They sound innocent if you're not interested, but they are crystal clear signals if you are.
Give me an example.
Okay, a classic one is the alone time invitation. She might say something casual like, "Oh, I'm going to be home alone all weekend." Got nothing planned.
She's not just talking about her calendar.
Not at all. She's signaling private access. She's basically asking you to make a move.
What about the vulnerability confession? Saying something like, "I feel so safe with you."
That is so powerful. It's not just a compliment. It's a deep sexual invitation disguised as intimacy. She's telling you that safety is the prerequisite for surrender.
I trust you enough to be naked, emotionally and physically.
Precisely. And sometimes it's even more direct. She'll give you instructions, but frame them as a fantasy.
Like what?
You know, I've always fantasized about being kissed in the rain. She's not reminiscing. She is handing you a script and wants you to follow it. Like, right now.
And this all ties back to a physiological process, right? This isn't just mind games.
No, not at all. Attraction creates what's called heightened attention and memory encoding.
Yeah.
Her brain literally starts prioritizing details about you.
Like your favorite band or some random story you told her weeks ago.
Yeah. Her brain has flagged you as sexually significant, so it starts saving all the data. And that's an involuntary process.
And there are physical cues, too, ones she can't really hide.
Oh, absolutely. When she's aroused, you'll see a sort of restless posture, a heightened sensitivity to touch,
Yeah.
and constant self-touching.
Playing with her hair, touching her neck.
Right, which is often a displacement of the desire to be touching you. It's also,
And then there's actual touch. You know, the casual arm touch, the lingering handshake. But there's one that really flips the switch, isn't there?
the possessive lower back claim. It's a huge signal.
Explain that.
Most people hug with their hands high up on the shoulders. It's polite, it's neutral. But when a hand settles on the small of her back, during a hug or even just in passing,
It feels different.
it communicates grounding, safety, a quiet sense of ownership. It's protective, it stops being casual, and confirms that non-threat status we talked about,
Yeah.
which opens the door for so much more.
But how does any of this initial, almost animalistic dance of scarcity and status, how does that survive the reality of a long-term relationship?
That's the million-dollar question. And this is where we have to pivot to the relational dynamics of sustained desire.
Because the rules change.
The rules completely change. The difficulty, according to experts like Esther Perel, is that we've created an impossible standard for modern love.
What do you mean?
We expect one person to be everything. Our best friend, our trusted confidant, co-parent, financial partner,
The person who provides safety and security.
and the source of passion, novelty, transcendence, and ecstasy. It's just an unbearable weight of mutual expectation.
And when those roles clash, which they inevitably do, that's when the frustration kicks in.
Exactly. And that frustration can, lead people to look outside the relationship. We have to reframe infidelity for a second here.
Okay.
Obviously, it's an act of betrayal, it's a breaking of trust. But often, it's not a rejection of the partner, but an expression of a deep longing for something else.
Well, I mean, for what?
For novelty, for freedom, a feeling of being alive again, an attempt to recapture a part of themselves they feel they've lost.
So, to counter that, to keep desire alive inside the commitment, you need what the sources call the desire equation.
Right. It's two parts. You need the foundation,
Yeah.
trust, safety, communication. But you also need the spark, variety, and
So
novelty.
you both. You can't have one without the other.
Exactly. If a couple gets stuck in a routine, desire just dies. The very stability that makes you feel secure is what can kill the sexual spark.
So the solution has to be intentional.
It has to be. You have to move beyond just, transactional sex and start co-creating what you could call erotic playdates, adventures.
Treating eroticism as What? Cultivating pleasure for its own sake, not just as a means to an end.
That's the perfect way to put it. It requires taking risks, being playful. If the initial attraction was about scarcity, lasting desire has to be about an abundance of shared adventure and deep emotional stability.
Okay, let's ground this in the physical. Let's move past the psychology and into the physiological truths of genuine intimacy.
I think that's crucial. And for women, the most important concept is that arousal is a dimmer switch. It is not an on-off light switch.
Meaning you have to go slow.
You have to go slow. Rushing it kills it instantly. It needs a gradual, steady build, and there's a clear anatomical reason for this. When a woman isn't aroused, the vaginal canal is, on average, about 3 to 4 inches deep. But when she is fully, genuinely aroused,
It changes.
it elongates and expands significantly. It can reach 5, 6, even 7 inches.
So foreplay isn't just a nice to have.
It's medically necessary for comfortable, pleasurable sex. If penetration happens before she's fully aroused, her body literally isn't ready. It can be uncomfortable, even painful, and that just shuts the whole thing down.
Slowing down creates the space for pleasure.
It creates the physiological change required for it. And once that arousal is building, the body gives off signals of genuine orgasm that you just can't fake.
What should you look for?
Involuntary muscle contraction, pelvic floor, abs, thighs. Breathing becomes rapid and shallow. You might see a visible flushing of the skin. And here is the most critical piece of advice from all the sources.
Okay.
When she is building toward that climax, consistency is everything. Whatever you are doing, keep doing it. Don't change the rhythm, don't change the position. That kills the momentum.
That is such a simple but powerful insight.
It really is. And there's another interesting claim in the sources about maturity. Younger women often report that older men can provide a better sexual experience. And the primary reason isn't technique, it's their emotional stability.
That grounded, confident presence we talked about earlier?
Yes, it creates a kind of neurochemical safety that allows her to fully relax, to surrender. And that surrender intensifies everything.
And what about for the man? I know there's often anxiety about performance.
Well, the sources suggest we should reframe delayed male orgasm. Instead of seeing it as a problem, see it as a huge pleasure advantage.
An advantage how?
It allows the man to sustain intercourse for longer, to focus entirely on her experience without the pressure of needing to finish quickly.
It puts the focus back on her pleasure.
And that ties back to the final piece, which is just, basic physical health. You can't separate performance from vitality. Things like nitrate-rich foods, pizza are a great example. They boost nitric oxide for better blood flow.
And you see mentions of certain herbal compounds?
Yeah, things like Erokhane or Tonkat Ali come up a lot in men's health courses for vitality. It's all part of that long-term intentionality, taking care of the physical machine.
We've covered a ton of ground here. I mean, from the competitive pursuit triggered by pre-selection, all the way to the deep emotional safety needed for sustained desire.
And the unifying thread, really, through all of it, is awareness, a kind of grounded confidence.
Whether you're decoding the subtle touch or just trying to stay present during intimacy.
The ability to read the signals and respond with a stable, non-needy confidence, that's paramount. The body, whether it's through those involuntary attraction signals or the responses in bed, it really does reveal the truth that words try to hide.
And remember that core tension we uncovered. The game of initial attraction is often about external strategies, about scarcity.
But the practice of cultivating lasting desire, that's all about internal stability and shared abundance. It's about co-creating safety and novelty over and over again. You really need to understand both sides of that coin.
You heard the finding that the emotional stability of a partner allows a woman to, quote, relax into femininity and feel safe enough for deeper attraction, for surrender.
It's a powerful idea.
So here's a final thought for you to chew on. If stability and self-possession are the ultimate signals of competence and value, where in your own life are you still seeking external approval or defaulting to uncertainty? What one small, decisive step could you take this week to simply lead your own experience and embody that authentic, grounded confidence? That's all the time we have for this deep dive.